Um, I decided to film this. Yes, I have a spot on my face. Yeah, Noel McPherson. I know. Um, I decided to do this um because I'm not even looking to camera. Like this is just I'm so crap. Hello. Where is the camera? Where is the camera? Yeah, oh, there you are. I think. Okay. Um. Now I'm like looking at myself instead of looking at the camera. Okay. I'm gonna leave this in because I've done this about 10 times already, and yes, my fingers are in the way because I'm left-handed, and I'm just altering from like one to the other, and I can't get it comfortable. And oh, there we go. That's all right. All right. Um, I'm really enjoying doing these playlists, but I'm not enjoying so much typing out the things because I just have this thing at the moment where I'm just tired of typing stuff out. I think it's just the whole lockdown thing and stuff. Oh my god, I look horrendous. God. Anyway, who cares? You know, I mean, I could point it at the wall, but you know, that's not going to be very good, is it? So I'll point it at me and just persevere and deal with it. Sorry, it's just something where am I even recording? Yes, I am. Oh god, this is awful. This is all the things that I just, you know, think that it will be, and I'm doing it, and it's just, oh, I might as well leave it in because I'm just daft and an idiot, and I hate myself. And anyway, this one, it's quite a long one, and I will try and be succinct with why I've chosen these. You'll see the playlist, obviously, somewhere above, below, I don't know, wherever I place it. There are kids. You'll hear the cats from time to time, probably. Anyway, Antipodean greats, as I called it. Some you're probably not even going to be aware of or know, but they're great to me. So, I'm referring to my list, by the way, which is in front of me. First choice, Crowded House. The title, yes, I know. When you I just, yeah, yeah, I know. Well, the Simple Minds have one called Come a Long Way, yeah, but just, you know, and people love it still because they look beyond the obvious, you know, title thing. Um, it is just a really super uplifting song. It's a wonderful love song. Um, First time I heard it, oh god, must be, well, probably around the time it came out. So when's that? Late 80s? 1990? I think, maybe? Well, no, it'd be late 80s or maybe 88, something like that. She says. I actually did just buy it the other day. I was at the You Discover Music site. This is now already off topic. Haha. I was at the You Discover Music site, and I was looking at the Iggy Pop, the Bowie Years box set thing that's coming out in the next few days, and contemplating buying that and thinking, well, it's only just got the Idiot and Lost for Life on it, and I'm gonna pay like 70 quid basically to get, sorry, I need to change hands, and my hand is gonna be in the way. Yeah, so I was thinking, well, I'm basically gonna pay 70 quid for Lost for Life and The Idiot, and and get some limited edition print of a gig poster for Colston Hall in 1977, I think it was. So, signed by the artist, yeah. But, 70 quid, basically, for 2 CDs. I mean, there was live things and outtakes and things, and I'm just going, but the live things, there were like 3 live things, and they were all in the space of like 3 weeks of one another, and basically identical set lists. So what's the point? Decided against it, but I did buy one NXS album, which I really, really love. The Swing. I love The Swing. The Swing is my absolute favorite NXS album, and they had it as a limited edition clear vinyl for $9.99. How could I refuse? So I got that, and then I saw Temple of Low Men and Woodface by Crowded House there as well for $9.99 each. So I got those 2, and I think When You Come is on Temple of Low Men. So yeah, I think without looking and referencing it, it's 1990. Although I said 88 before, it's one of those. And so yeah, I kind of know it from around the time. I almost chose Sister Madly because I love Sister Madly too. Wonder why. Yeah, it's just, love Crowded House, and I love many different songs of theirs. And I could have had Fall at Your Feet, I could have had Into Temptation, but I find something really uplifting about When You Come, because it's about, I don't know, it's just like it's like this thing of like you're just absolutely totally in love with this person, and every time you see him it's like the most amazing thing. So yeah, that. Next choice is Mental as Anything, Spirit Got Lost. I've tried with these to come away from the norm or from the obvious choices of these artists. And so with Mental as Anything, everyone in the UK or everyone outside of Australia basically would go, oh, Live It Up. No, no, not Live It Up. It's like everyone who is not familiar with Simple Minds going, don't you forget about me. No. No, not Live It Up. There are just so many other great Mental as Anything tunes. And there's something about Spirit Got Lost. I don't know. I think it's the kind of, I don't know, the musicality of it. It's a strange kind of melody and thing. It's, yeah, I don't know. And just the lyrics and stuff, and there's something kind of strange and quirky about it that I really, really like. Strange quirkiness. Hey, there you go. That's me. Next one is Dragon Rain. Again, everyone would be like, oh, April Sun in Cuba. No. No. as much as April Sun in Cuba is a great song, you know, I and at this point in time, or at the time the Rain was released, sorry, I have an itchy nose. They were kind of like not as well, not as well known, but like they were kind of, not this dragon big band in the 70s kind of thing. They were, I suppose they were big-ish still, but not really on many people's radar. But they did have a hit with Rain, and what was the other song that they had at the time? And I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they kind of had this appeal again for a brief time. And I just like Rain. It's just, there's a real good beat to it, and there's a good guitar riff, and there was a lot of, I don't know, sorry, I change hands again. By mid-80s, I'm trying to change hands and not to get in the way. Yeah, so by mid-80s, I think it's about 85, 84, 85, Rain comes out. I don't think they were kind of really in the zeitgeist anymore. So it was good to pick just because of that, and also because I did say Antipodean greats, so I felt like I needed to put some Kiwis in, not make it all Australian. And so Dragon did come out of New Zealand, but like many other Kiwi acts, they kind of went, let's hop over the pond and get better known, which I think most Kiwi acts did. They'd just go, let's go over to Oz. There's more people there. We'll have more of a chance of getting known. It's kind of like, the UK and every act going, gotta go to London. I think a lot of Kiwi acts just went, have to go to Oz. So yeah, Dragon got their popularity really once they hopped over the Tasman. Probably still only really known down there and not anywhere else. So it's good to highlight those kind of acts as well. It's people who you may have not heard of. Next one is another Kiwi act, My Sex, who I realise after such a long time and getting myself slowly educated with other things, they must have got their name from an Ultravox song. I'm assuming. I did go for the big hit here. Computer games, because it is really, really awesome. I did have another couple of ones in my head. I like Blue Day, and I like, I gotta remember what it's called. I think it's called You Don't Care, I think. And there's another song, and I can't think of it, but I like that too, but I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. But computer games is the big one for them, so, and it is awesome. I mean, probably sounds a bit aged now because of the subject matter. And probably even musically sounds a little aged, sorry. Sorry. God, I'm such a feral. I don't do these things well. next is the Angels After the Rain live. I chose a live one, which I rarely do with these things, but I really, really wanted to choose After the Rain. And the studio version was not the studio version on Spotify. It was a re-recorded thing, which I don't even think had Doc Neeson, the original singer, singing on it. So went for a live one instead, which is really actually quite an awesome version. Again, it's like I'm just realizing that I've got a little bit of a rain theme going on. But yeah, just rocking and just you can hear the crowd and they're singing along, and Angels songs were like that, especially if you ever I could have chosen Am I Ever Gonna See Your Face Again. That's the big one of theirs, and that's the big one they do live. Well, they did live. Because the crowd chant along in response to the question, am I ever gonna see your face again, with a no way, get fucked, fuck off. which is absolute like legend in Australian, and just, you know, anyone who has been to an Angels concert, seen an Angels concert live, just knows that that's obligatory of the am I ever gonna see your face again, no way, get fucked, fuck off is is the response. I had to go back to, you know, I chose in my last one, in the formative years one, I chose a Sherbet one, which I think I chose Just Being You, because it was, for me, an uplifting thing of like, you are who you are, and you can have dreams, and you can, well, I mean, basically the words are you can be whatever you want to be, and you can do whatever you want to do. Which, yeah, on the formative years one, I was saying as a 5-year-old, that was kind of pretty inspiring to hear, that you just, the world's your oyster kind of thing. Not that I did anything about it. So this one is Magazine Madonna, which I know sounds like a really stupid thing for me to choose, but I don't know, it was latest 70s when it came out. I think it was 78 it came out on an album called Photo Play, and it was around, obviously, I think I have this right, I might be wrong, I mean I can't ask them now, but I think it was David and, to a degree, Cheryl, because she liked the guys on the back. David was the Sherbet fan, and Quince was the Skyhooks fan. Kind of like how they did it with the Beatles and the Stones. Like David was the big Beatles fan, and Quince was more the Stones fan. They kind of separated it out like that with Sherbet and Skyhawks, who were kind of like the Oz equivalent of, like, well, not the, obviously they're not the equivalent of the Beatles and the Stones, but they had that kind of sort of opposing rivalry kind of thing. You were either a Sherbet fan or a Skyhawks fan, and never the twain shall meet kind of thing. But hey, I loved both of them, so and I am the same with the Beatles and the Stones. Probably like the Beatles more than the Stones, to be honest, but I do love both of them. And so yeah, I don't know, Magazine Madonna just had this catchiness too wet, and yeah, still does. And when I was choosing a track to have of theirs last time in the formative years playlist, I almost went for Magazine Madonna then. So this time I went, oh, I'm definitely going to have Magazine Madonna this time. Next is, it's written as V Spy, but everyone knew them as Spy versus Spy until they had to legally change their name because I think there was another band around called Spy versus Spy, or they got into trouble for using the name when there was that comic book thing out or something. There was some reason why they had to change it, so they went for V Spy. I really, really love them. They're like political and, you know, that kind of post-punk ska sort of thing, but they were 80s, like, so started out mid 80s. And yeah, and Take Me Away is just this thing where you just, I think it appeals to like people who are working a lot, and then it's your holiday. You've got 2 weeks off and it's just awesome, and you just want to get out and escape. And Take Me Away is like this thing of like, you've got time off, go do the stuff you love, just take the time out and just get away. And it just sells it so well. Yeah, and it's also kind of now at the moment where people are just, the lockdown thing is going on, and you just think, I want to get out. I want to get out and I want to do things, and yeah, take me away. But you can't get away at the moment, sadly. Not if you're wanting to do the right thing. Sorry, I keep looking down at what the next one will be. Back to the Kiwis. Headless chickens. No, who's going to know headless chickens outside of New Zealand, and probably even to a lesser degree Australia? Because, you know, I'd be surprised. Anyone who's watching this who lives outside of Australia and New Zealand knows headless chickens, contact me. Even I don't know them that well, but I know Cruise Control and I absolutely adore it. And it has this kind of this mix going on. It's there's some, I don't know what you even call it. I'm lost. Like rap. Ish, inverted commas. Not sort of that kind of rap. I mean, it's not cool rap. It's not. It's not black guy rap, but there's a rap to it and stuff, and yeah. And just the way it starts, even like, who opens a song with a line that goes, sometimes days seem to roll on like a big fat man? It sounds silly, but it's kind of like, it's an awesome line, and the way it's delivered, and yeah, it's just brilliant. Leonardo's Bride saw Leonardo's Bride as a support for, I think it was UMI. It was either UMI or the Cruel Sea back in the mid 90s, when actually went out and went to a few gigs now and again for a brief point in time where I was doing gigging with Stephen, my mate, and we saw them, and they only did a small set, but they did the song, and just I fell in love with it, and I bought the single. I think I might have even bought the album. I definitely bought the single, even when I'm sleeping. It's just really beautiful. It's just beautiful. I have nothing more to say about it. Just listen to it and you'll get why. INXS. I had to have an INXS song, right? I almost missed them off. Sorry, I'm looking down. So I almost missed them off. This playlist, sorry, I'm changing hands again. And so, yeah, I wasn't gonna choose the obvious again, but I love Don't Change. Don't Change is my favorite. I almost chose Johnson's Aeroplane from the Swing album because I love the Swing album so much. And I love Johnson's Aeroplane in particular. There's just, I don't know why I find this song incredibly emotional, but I do. I don't know. And there's like, it's about farming, I think. Well, that's how it seems to me. It's like about farming, but it's kind of like, it's like that thing of like the struggle. And so I find it really emotional anyway, but that is not what I chose. I chose Don't Change because it's my favorite INXS song, really, actually. And again, it's the thing about just be you. Basically, you know, you who you are, and hey, you're the kind of best you are, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah, that's why I like it. Hunters and Collectors. I think it's Betty's Worry. I needed to check this. It has two titles, Betty's Worry or The Slab. I usually just think of it as The Slab. It took me a while to actually for this song to grow on me at first, like when it was first around, and I'd hear it. Sorry, changing again. When it was first around, I was like, God, this, I don't know if I like this. I just realised I could have had Say Goodbye as well. Say Goodbye is a really awesome song. Oh, I should have chosen that. Damn. No, actually, no. The Slab Betty's Worry is just really awesome as well. Sorry, I haven't like listened to these, not all of them. So in my head, I'm just starting to play it, going, "It is the one that I'm thinking of, isn't it?" Yeah, there's a lot of I know, I realize I missed one. There was one I wanted to put in here, and then I missed it. I sort of went, oh, I stopped at 21 because that'll do. And I'm thinking, oh, I should have had the Triffids Wide Open Road. And I should have had a go-between song as well. Damn, but I definitely should have had the Triffids Wide Open Road. Because I really, really love it. Damn. Extras. I'm making extras. But like, also Rans. um, yeah. So the slab is just kind of weird, but really like very anthemic. I don't know. There's like lots of horns and things, and yeah, I just like it. And the silly things, um, the kind of weird stuff. And they're like, "Hey, I know it's true, but I just can't say it. Say it. Say it." That kind of stuff. um. Oh, just saw the next one. I couldn't help it. It's just, yeah. You know me. It just sums me up completely. Look, well, the title of the song sums me up completely. I'm not sure I would do what the subject matter of the song is. I don't think I'd be doing that in the cinema. Well, I don't have the right equipment to be doing that in the cinema. But yeah, I mean, hell, Skyhawks. Honestly, like just this this is a track on the Living in the 70s album, which came out in 74. I think it is, yeah, 1974. And they have a song on there about, I won't sugarcoat it, wanking in the cinema. Actually, not even wanking in the cinema, but like getting, like, fudging it in a way in which you kind of get a hand job in the cinema. I mean, just okay. The premise of the song, in case it's not obvious when you listen to it, is that you hide your, let's use the Scottish term here, you hide your tadger in a packet of crisps. Well, twisties as they are. They're these cheese flavoured snacks that you get in Oz. And your female companion, girlfriend, you know, reaches in for for twisties, and you get your pleasure from having the female companion accidentally touch your manhood while you're sitting there watching the movie. I mean, just honestly, great subject matter for a song. That's the kind of band Skyhooks were. As opposed to Sherbet. Sherbet were never gonna do a song like that. Awesome though. It's an awesome song. Won't say any more about that one. Regurgitator. I'm sure this song is called the song formerly known as, with a question mark. Oh, it's on this album called Unit, and Unit was just everywhere. I think it's mid to late 90s, 90. Oh, without looking at it, 90. 97, I want to say. It might be 96, 95. One of them. um, but it was everywhere. Like, just, they were huge that year. And I mean, they took a change in musical direction because before that they were very kind of white rap based sort of thing, that sort of rap funk kind of genre thing. Wasn't really my cup of tea, but when they did this, they went a bit more, well, they kind of took the funk up more and then were more electronic and not quite so rap and things. I mean, they still had things on there that were a little bit more like that on the album, but not as kind of more that way inclined as they were in the previous years. Still, like, there are some really crazy things on the album. Just, again, I mean, moving on from Skyhawks, Regurgitated did songs like, excuse my language, but this is the title of the song. The song was called I Will Lick Your Asshole. It just makes it sound like I love all these, like, people who do all these disgusting songs. It's not true. It's not true. Because the song formerly known as is just, it's like, it's just about being in a good place and having a good time, and there's a good vibe, and that's it, basically. It's like, I'm picking like songs about, good times and things, and I'm like, we're not even really having good times because we're in lockdown and we can't even be like, yeah. Oh god, this is going so long. Sorry. I thought, oh, I could do these in a minute. I'll give myself a minute to do all these, and I'm not now. You just have to suffer it. Now, I thought, well, I had Crowded House. I'm gonna go back to the beginnings, don't I? Really, and over to New Zealand, because Crowded House really kind of started out in Oz as opposed to New Zealand, but Split Ends, they started out in New Zealand. And I had initially chosen Dirty Creature because I was, again, avoiding the usual things. I wasn't gonna do I Got You or 6 Months in a Leaky Boat, or just things that people would normally just think, oh yeah, Split Ends, that's what they're known for. No. So I had initially chose Dirty Creature because it's just awesome, I think, anyway. But then I remembered I Hope I Never, which is just, that could have been in my tears list. Actually, so could the Leonardo's Bride, Even When I'm Sleeping. Really, actually. I had these two songs in my tears playlist. But I Hope I Never is like, melodically, it's really, really sad. Like, just that piano, and then just Finn just singing it. But when you really like listen to it properly, it's like a really hard breakup song. It's like that kind of It's not the like, oh, I really miss you and I wish we were still together. It's like, you really cut me up, and you know, if I die and don't see you again, it will be too soon, kind of thing. It's like that, like, you know, I'm really burned by you. But delivered with such a lament, and like, oh, it's just, man, oh yeah, yeah. Well, you just listen to it and you'll know what I mean. It's the it's delivered with a lament and a melancholy where you're just like, oh, but then when you listen to it, you go, wow, you're really like just going, but wrapped up in a kind of thing that just sounds like, oh, my heart is broken, but really it's like more like, fuck you. Which makes it kind of almost, to me, like sadder than if it was just like, my heart's broken. If it was like, my heart's broken, it'd be like, yeah, well, everyone has a broken heart. But this is like, shit. You be burned, boy. Yikes. um, and then just the complete opposite, Ice House. I can't help myself. That's like, yeah. Yeah. That's almost like, I'm like, just crazy in love kind of thing. um, well, maybe not even in love. It's like this possession, infatuation thing. It's like, yeah, yeah. And with the Ice House one, I was, again, because formative years, I chose Ice House, and I have walls. Um, I almost thought, oh, I could have love emotion, and I could have, um, God, I've lost the title. I've lost the title. It was just there. We can get together. I was tossing up whether to have I can't help myself, we can get together, or love emotion. I can't help myself won out. Even though I do love the other two. I mean, there are other tracks on the Ice House album that I could have had as well. Could have had the title track. Well, the title track. Subsequently, I could have had Fat Man. I could have had Sister. And just, yeah, I love that album so much. Um, ACDC. Had to have ACDC again, and I had to have Whole Lot of Rosie. I love Whole Lot of Rosie. Again, me choosing a song that's like rather dubious subject matter. Yeah, don't know what else to say with that one. Just, just hear it. I mean, I love the story behind it, that this woman really existed and was like, just, it was this like huge woman who, like, Bond just went, I know she's like this fat woman, but she's freaking amazing in bed. And then writes a song about it, like. Go Bond. I say any more about that. Midnight Oil. Nearly missed them off the list as well. Having so many choices, and then you're trying to be succinct. Like now, look, 45 minutes I've been waffling on, trying to be succinct, and if I wrote this out, I would have been much more succinct than this, because I would have went, well, I'm going to say this, and this, and this, and this, and it would be this long. Nearly miss them off. And then I was like, oh, Power and the Passion, yeah, love Power and the Passion. Short Memory, love Short Memory. What am I going to choose? I don't know, I'm not doing the thing here. Beds are burning. Everyone's like, beds are burning. No, just, people. Can I just make a plea? Like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to change hands for a moment, because I just need to rest this one for just a second. Sorry about this. The camera work is disgusting, I know. Right, I want to make a plea now to everyone. If there is a band but you only know one of their songs or two of their songs, can you just go and listen to some others and see if you like other songs of theirs? Please, like, just do that for yourself, because you really don't know what you're missing. I mean, especially in terms of like Midnight Oil. If all you know is Beds Are Burning, just go and listen to some other songs for you. I'm not saying Beds Are Burning is a crap song. I'm just saying there are other ones of theirs that you can choose that are really brilliant. Like, read about it. Go read about it. Read about them. Oh, again, what can you say about Midnight Oil? Just awesome. Rob Hurst, one of the best drummers in the entire friggin' universe as far as I'm concerned, and this song shows it so well. And then just them with their political gusto. I mean, a band that was so political that their lead singer becomes a politician. I mean, right? Yeah. I mean, read about it. It's just anthemic, and just, got that power pop thing that they do, and that political angst, and just yeah. I think it's on 10-1 as a, rather than saying the actual title of the album. Let's just cut it to 10-1, because that's what it is, really. Yeah, I love that album. It does have Power and the Passion on it, and it also has what's the other one? What's that other one on it that I really, really like? US Forces. That's it. Oh, yeah. That's really awesome too. Again, it's all just Rob Hurst. I love the sound. The sound of Midnight Oil for me is all down to Rob Hurst. Awesome drummer. I wish I could play and sound like Rob Hurst in my dreams. Cold Chisel. Oh my god. Nearly forgot them too. I know. Any of the Aussies watching this, I know I nearly forgot Cold Chisel. Oh. Anything from the East album I put down actually circus animals as well. I put down Bow River to begin with, and then I thought, oh, should I be picking? And then I thought about My Baby as well, which is on the East album, and then I thought, oh, should I be picking something that, can't think of his last name, Ian, the other guy who would sing. I was going, should I really pick one that he's sung? I shouldn't really, because, you know, the overriding thing of Cold Chisel is Jimmy Barnes and his voice, and so I went, no, I have to choose one of them. And so I was thinking about songs on the East album, and then thinking, well, I'm not gonna do the thing with the, you know, the usual things, and I thought, not cheap wine, and so I went Star Hotel. Star Hotel is like, oh, and the vocal performance from Jimmy Barnes on Star Hotel is just awesome. So, and again, another more political fueled thing, like powerful words, and just, yeah. The Cruel Sea. The Cruel Sea was just such an awesome band. I wasn't really into the Beasts of Bourbon, which was the other group that Tex Perkins was in before Cruel Sea formed, and they had their kind of stint of togetherness. I saw the Cruel Sea at least once, I think maybe twice, could have even been 3 times. Definitely saw him once, I think I saw him twice. Like, just as most live bands are in Oz, they were just wow. Always incredible live, and so were You and I. I've seen You and I several times, and You and I still to this day probably are the only band I have seen that are just more incredible live than they are ever represented on a studio recording. Like, just awesome, absolutely awesome. And the Cruel Sea were like that too. And Black Stick was just this, it was my anthem for waking me up to go to work every morning. It was my wake up alarm to get me up. So yeah, and it's like, it's a kind of anatomy lesson or a strange anatomy lesson or biology lesson of the human body, but in a way that is just kind of kitschy and fun, and yeah, and they're just incredible musicians, and it's an incredible piece musically, but a fun kind of thing, a fun tour of the body kind of thing. And we end on, oh, sorry, my arm is hurting. I wasn't meant to be doing this for this long. I'm not even sure if I'll share this. I'll probably just end up writing this out anyway. Who knows? I don't know. Divinals. Again, all they're going to be known for is I touch myself. No. And I know that how obvious that would have been for me to choose. You know, people going, oh, you didn't choose I touch myself. That would be so you. No. No, I just, choose songs about guys, you know, getting their kicks in the cinema. And no. So it was either the choice of, I mean, again, I'm not saying I Touch Myself isn't a shit song, is a shit song. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, there's more to them than that. Science fiction I love. Only Lonely I played first, thinking, am I going to choose Only Lonely? Almost did. And then I played Siren and just went, it's 2.5 minutes of yeah, like nothing about touching yourself. It's about, again, this thing of you're just really awesome and yeah, you're the person for me, and yeah. I like those kind of things. And that was it's just 2.5 minutes of you're great and so yeah. And there we go. That's it. My very long-winded explanation of these choices for this, because it's a long playlist really compared to the other ones. 21 tracks. But how do you, sorry, changing hands again, how do you narrow down this wealth of Australian and New Zealand music in less than 21 songs? Frankly, you can't. Well, I couldn't. And there are still things I've missed, and still things that I would have liked to have added, but I wanted to put some quirky things in there. I wanted to put some things in that people would not really know about or be familiar with, or so yeah. There you have it.